Hey friends all over the world, I come to you today with a very sobering message. And I'm asking you to truly listen to what I'm saying to you today. As I was pondering all of the events that are taking place today, all of the things that are going on, all of the things that are happening in the news, media, society, politics, I'm reminded of several things and several warnings. There is a strong delusion that we must be aware of. And there is today, not coming in the future, but even now, the manifestation of the spirit of Antichrist. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20 says, "Woe unto them who call evil good, no, good evil and evil good, who take light for darkness and darkness for light." And that is where we are. And I want to give you this warning, and I want to really admonish you. I really want to admonish you in this. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 10 and 11 deal with this very clearly. It says that because it talks about the deceivableness that will happen in the last days. And it says, as a result of this, people will no longer love the truth. And because of that, God will give them over to strong delusion so that they should believe a lie. Understand that in these days that we are living in, the spirit of the age is to believe lies, or in other words, to yield to deception. And the thing about deception is more than lying. It's more than just something that's not true. It is the conflating of good and evil. It is the mixture of light and darkness. That's the great deception of this age. And so here it is. Listen to this. Christians, people who go to church, people who pray, people who evangelize, are beginning, listen to this, to be deceived. People who go to church, people who have good morals. Hear this. Please hear this. Just like it is with imposters, people impersonating influencers, people pretending to be someone that they're not, people saying, hey, this is so-and-so, this is this leader, this is that leader, send money to an orphanage. The same spirit, see, that's just an archetype of what's actually happening. You see, there is a spirit today that is impersonating Jesus, but it's not the God of the Bible. It's not the Jesus of the Bible. It's an impersonation. It's an imposter. It's an antichrist. I got to go a little deeper. This is why Christians can vote in evil. And then when they see the evil proliferating, they call it good. Did you see what I just said? Christians voting in evil in the name of being progressive. They will vote for evil, vote for the devil. And then when he gets into office and begins to wreak havoc, they don't even recognize the evil that he's doing because they can't see anymore. They've yielded to a spirit of deception. You see, the moment you no longer love the truth, you open the door to deception. When you don't love the truth anymore, when you don't have a tolerance for the truth, when you don't have a stomach for the truth, if the truth always offends you, if you get mad when people tell you the truth, if you get angry, if you get frustrated, what happens is that your threshold for truth diminishes and you end up believing lies. And the Bible says that there will be a spirit of strong delusion to where they can lie to your face. They don't even need to lie. They don't even need to try to trick you. They will lie to your face. And if you're not careful, you will believe them. Paul wrote to Timothy, he says, in the last days, perilous times shall come. For men, it says, for they shall give heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Seducing spirits. Seducing spirits, demonic doctrines. You know, let me tell you something. That's why you're seeing a proliferation of people being demonized. Like I was sharing a story, and this is not just one story. I've had so many stories of people thinking they were hearing from God, thinking that God was talking to them, thinking that God was a voice leading them. You know? People consulting mediums and consulting psychics and speaking to their dead relatives and believing that it's God. Believing that it's God. Believing that God's speaking through them, and people are being deceived by demon spirits. When they tell you stuff like, you know what? Everybody has a right to choose. But then they say, you know what, you don't have a choice. You have to do this. The same people that tell you you have a right to choose tell you that you have no choice. Are you seeing what I'm saying here? When you point, that's why you'll tell a Christian, you know what this leader's doing is evil. And they'll say, no, it's not. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We're literally seeing fascism and socialism take place right before our eyes. And because Christians have become so progressive in their thinking, so liberal in their thinking, they no longer identify what's happening anymore. We're living in an age, because of strong delusion, where people can pee on you and you'll call it rain. This is what's happening. Isaiah 5:20, they're calling good evil and evil good. This is why, listen to me, and I've said this before. This is why facts don't matter anymore. You can show people the evidence, you can show people the data, but they don't care. They don't even care about facts. They don't care about data. They don't care about what you show them. You could show them the hard evidence and it doesn't matter. You know why? Because they're operating in a place of delusion. You can show people, hey, this is not the Bible. The Bible doesn't say this. The Bible doesn't say that. This is not what it says. Yeah, I know it doesn't say that, but this is what I feel. People talking to me about, well, the reason why I believe this is because I read it in one of the lost books of the Bible. You haven't even read the found books of the Bible. What people are concerned about lost books, and they haven't read the 66 books that they already have. They've not even read and believed that. And yet they want something more. And it is the pull of the age. It is the pull of the Antichrist spirit. It is the mixture where people are mixing evil with good, where people are trying to mix light with darkness. And they're calling it God. And because people are calling it God, let me tell you something. Did you know what here in Tampa, in Tampa and Lakeland, a man drove nearly an hour to someone's house and said that God told him to rescue a girl out of the house. And he called the girl's name. He said, "This is the girl's name. God sent me here to rescue this girl." And the people who live in the house said, "There's no one here by that name." He says, "Yes, I believe there is." He says, they said, "No, it's not." Listen, they call the police on him. He leaves. He goes back to his house in the middle of the night, goes back to the house in Lakeland, breaks into the house, and kills everyone in the house except for a girl, an 11-year-old girl, who he tortured by shooting her several times. And he did this in the name of God. He did this in the name of God told me to do this. This is God. And this is what's happening. Many Christians sat by as we inaugurated evil. We inaugurated evil. We inaugurated wickedness. You see, I know that what I just gave seems like a strong example. I know it seems like a strong, exaggerated example, but it is the extreme end of the spectrum, and it is the bottom of the slope that the culture's going into. Where you can listen to this. Here's where it's going. They're going to tell you that a dog is actually a cat. They're going to say, you know what, a dog is a cat. You say, well, no, that's definitely a dog. No, that's a cat. And if you insist on the facts that that's a cat, that that's a dog, they will call you hateful, intolerant, selfish, narcissistic, a religious bigot, an extremist, simply because you spoke the truth. This is what's happening in our culture. An intolerance for truth. And because of this, people are experiencing strong delusion. They're experiencing delusion where they no longer have a grasp of reality. They no longer have a grasp of reality. They no longer have a grasp on reality. We're being told things right now. We're being told things in the media that are absolutely false. 100% fake. It's fake. It's concocted. It's fabricated. But people believe it. You know why? Because they want to. People believe it because they no longer have a tolerance for truth. And because of that, they are believing lies. This is where we're at, people. See, we think that the Antichrist is some mystical being coming out of the ocean. Actually, the word Antichrist appears a number of times in one epistle, or the epistles of John. In 1 John, he used the term Antichrist. Only in John's epistles does he use the word Antichrist. It doesn't appear in the book of Revelation. It appears in the book of 1 John. And he tells the early church about the Gnosticism and the Gnostics, and he says they are Antichrists that deny the Father and the Son. Here's what's happening. They're trying to present another Jesus. They're trying to present the Jesus of social justice. They're trying to present the Jesus of tolerance. They're trying to present the Jesus of relativism. They're literally trying to recreate God in their own image. They're trying to recreate God in their own image and after their own likeness. They're trying to make God into the image of man and make us worship that image. That is what the mark of the beast is all about. That's what the mark of the beast is all about. It's not just a microchip or not just a vaccine. The mark of the beast is about getting people to worship the idol of man. And that is exactly what is happening today. And we need to be careful. The Lord is warning us today about strong delusion, where they'll tell people that they can't gather in a church because it's not safe, and in the same breath have a concert with 50, 60, 70,000 people, and the experts say, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, they'll tell you that 50 people in a congregation who are wearing masks are unsafe and can't sing. But they'll tell you that that millions of rioters destroying property, yelling during the pandemic are totally safe and do not contribute to any spread. This is what's happening. And they're trying to use bullying and coercion to make you accept something that's not true. You're going to admit that this dog is really a cat, and you're saying, no, it's not. It's definitely a dog. It's definitely a dog. It's not a cat. It's a dog. It has the physiology of a dog. It has the mannerisms of a dog. It has the DNA of a dog. But no, I know it has the DNA of the dog, the physiology of a dog, the mannerism of a dog, but I believe it's a cat still. We need to be very careful. Be very careful that you don't yield to this spirit, that you don't get seduced by the culture, seduced by the spirit of this age. And because of the narcissism and the arrogance and the pride and the ignorance, people are conceding their power to lies. Be not deceived. Be not deceived. Be not deceived. Share this.